Welcome to Let's Chat. Chat is actually an acronym, and it means communicating honestly about things. Why Let's Chat? This podcast is one that I've dreamt of for years, one that I've journaled in this journal about how I wanted to show up, how I wanted to invite others to communicate with me through an engaging environment that is comfortable for myself and for whomever's on the other side, to be able to sit and relax and share our story, whatever that may be. But with honesty, speaking our truth in love, without malice, because with this platform, I want to give the opportunity for others to listen in and grow. Listen in, possibly take notes on the things that will make them go, is she or he speaking about me? Are the experiences that are being shared experiences that I've experienced, but I have suppressed them? And it could be for many different reasons. But with this podcast, I don't want to just talk at anyone. I want to engage. I want to be able to set the stage, one, which is very calming, non-threatening, very inviting and soothing, so that those who have a story, and we all have one, whom are willing to come on camera to share their experience. Allow me to ask questions. I will allow you to ask questions, and we grow. We grow. Listen, we all have a story. And we have the belief, some of us have the belief that our stories are just for us. I would say to a degree, yes. But what I have learned over the years by me doing it is that I've been fearful to share some of my stories. Why? Because of perception. What would people think if I say XYZ? What would people think or say when I decide I want to share certain pieces of my life that many don't know, but I know that some know because they've taken the journey along with me? What is that going to look like? We allow fear of what other people are going to think about us, to keep us encapsulated, hidden, because we don't want to feel ashamed of something that we've gone through. We don't want people to look at us and go, oh, woe is you, you poor thing, right? But I can honestly say this, I don't like it. Even by thinking that somebody is going, man, she's been through some stuff. Whew, glad that's not me. We're gonna pray for her. And some people that say that, we're gonna pray for you, they don't pray for you. They say that because it's something that they feel that's the right thing to do or to say at the time, in the moment. But I'm gonna be honest with you, for me, if I say I'm gonna pray for you, I'm gonna pray for you. If I say I'm gonna open up for the two of us to have a conversation, I'm gonna open up to have the conversation. I've carried a lot in my years, from wee little to now. And many of us have. If you've lived a life and you're living now, you've been through many stages of life. And more than likely, you have hit some turbulence during your travels. And some of that, I'm quite sure you want to bury and forget about it, and you don't want anybody else to dig those up either, because it's like bones that we bury and we don't want anyone to find them. Well, honestly, there's some things we need to release. We need to let go because it's been hindering us. And we haven't been able to get to the freedom that we want or may desire, because some of us may feel that we don't deserve it. And I'm going to say, stop it. You deserve it. I deserve it. You deserve it. We all deserve the opportunity to rise and live the best lives, our best lives, not according to what somebody else may want from us or want us to engage in, but what we want. What is the honesty that you can share Maybe not with everyone, but with yourself. Are you living the life that you want to live? Are you actually the person that you saw yourself becoming? Who are you? What do you want? What are your desires? It is okay to be selfish. Some of us have been told, if you're married, you have a significant other, you have children, you have to put them first. Listen, I'm going to lean in on this one. I have 4 children whom I love deeply. But I've got to love me just as deep first. You can't give what you don't first possess for yourself. Let me say that one more time. You cannot give what you don't first possess for yourself. How can you love, truly love, if you don't know what it feels like to love yourself? If you don't know love for yourself, how can you actually love someone else? Yeah, something to think about, and that's across the board. This podcast, in its simplest form, will be just that. Coming online, sometimes just me, sometimes inviting others without a big production. And on some occasions, I'm gonna want a big production. I'll get there. But it's time for me to start. And here I am. I am going to invite guests. I have several people that have provided me with their books. I have books I want to share. I want to bring them on. I want to do an engagement with them. I want to ask the why. I want them to tell their story. I want them to share tips. And I want you to engage. Why now, Veronica? Now because I've got the time. I'm feeling more like myself. I don't have certain anchors that I felt that would have possibly been something that would hold me back, or that somebody else would be like, oh, why are you sharing that? Why are you doing this? I don't have to be concerned about that. I've freed myself. I've found the freedom within me to allow myself to rise and do the things that I know that I'm called to do, to fulfill without having to be concerned about how somebody else is feeling about the things that I'm going to say, and not having to be concerned about what's coming next. The bracing, staying encaged, not engaged, encaged, because sometimes we can find ourselves in situations where it's like, if I share this, girl, what are they gonna think? I don't like pity. I don't want pity. I'm not a pity person, right? I like to show up strong. I like to show up authentic, but also I know that it can be a facade to a degree because we put on masks. We will put on a mask in a minute to safeguard our image. Well, if a person is willing to come to you raw and share, understand that's power. That's that person having the courage to show up and be their authentic selves. No makeup, raw, me find me, just as I am. Something that I want them, my children, to be able to have the confidence to live their authentic lives. And it's okay for them to be angry, upset about certain things, and speak their truth, but speak it in love, not in malice. Because when you're seeking to get change or have change in different scenarios, the best way to do that and to get people to align, come along, or to think differently is to be non-threatening. Show up in love. Show up in a manner in which you know that it will more so draw a person in versus repel them. For me, I want to be that magnet to draw you in. I want to draw you in so much so that you're willing to look in my eyes to see you as a reflection, but in love. There are some of us, we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see. But sweetheart, it's you. I want to encourage each and every one of you to be your authentic self. And even though there may be things that you don't like, my encouragement to you, document it. Write it down. I am big on journaling. Write it down. Go back to it and visit it. Start taking actions. Stop giving yourself a way out. And stay tapped in. That's the way you grow. Stop deflecting. A lot of us do that. We'll go and do something different, or we'll get attached to something or somebody because we don't want to spend the time to ourselves. I'm going to be back on my next episode, and I'm going to talk about the art of loving oneself. What it takes, because it takes us, you, me, doing the work for me, on me, so that I can show up in my truth without being ashamed, walking it out with boldness, because I am human, just like you. And I want us to be able to get rid of the facades. Too many of us are still wearing masks, showing up and wanting to show up in different ways because we want people to love us. We want people to engage us. We want people to see the best in us. But what about if I show you the worst in me? Can you handle it? It's more so, honestly, is if I can handle it. Can I handle me at my worst? Can I get myself out of the paper bag that I may have put myself in? Can I show up and be so authentic with you, so raw, sharing every essence of me without being afraid or ashamed, because all of it makes up the person that I am? Is that possible? Most definitely. Most definitely. It is possible. And I'm going to walk that walk. And I'm going to walk it out in front of you and share and encourage and ask that those of you who would be willing to come on with me during this journey, which I expect and desire to be a long one. Let's do it together. Come on with me. Walk this out with me. Share your story. Let me ask you questions. You ask me questions, and we engage in the open. In the open. Very simple. I want to be simplistic. I want to help you, as I'm doing for myself, to unlock truths that I want to share, that's going to release some of the stuff that I've been carrying. And it's going to let you see some inner sides of me, while also knowing that it's still me, being authentic. Naked, not literally, but naked and not afraid to rise in my courage to share my story. We all have one. And a thing that I like to say to people who write and ask me questions about books that I've written, things that I've done, you are always going to be the author of your story. The only way that you're not is when you give other people permission to write your story out for you. Time to unmask. Time to show up. Time to have the real conversations. So, let's chat. Let's start communicating honestly about things. Things is plural, as there are many things that we can share. Many things that we can talk through. I know I can. We can talk about work. We can talk about corporate America. We can talk about how you fit, if that's where you are. We can talk about just you. We can talk about me, personal, making it open, being an open book. Who does that? Who willingly does that? Actually, there are a lot of people that do it. The question is, are you engaged with them? Do you know them? Are you willing to have the connection with them, to have some real conversations? We're going to talk about relationships, love, hurt, All of that. Those are things that many of us go through, and we hide it, don't want to share it. See, my thing is, let's bring things to light, right? A lot of things can happen in the dark, and many of us live in the dark. I love the dark, but some of the things that I've experienced have lived in the dark for so long that it's molded in, it's like a bad cloud. And in order for me to get the clarity and to release and to heal and to help others to heal as others want to help me heal, you got to be able to talk it out. You got to be able to put it out there, shed light on it, put some light on it. It'll drive that darkness away, because a lot of things will fester in the dark. But the things that are in the light, those are the power moves. The power moves are the things that you bring forth when you are in the light. And it helps you to remove the fog that you're under, that you go through, your experience. A lot of the things that are in the dark is because we're ashamed. We've had a facade for a long time, and we show up the way that we want people to see us. But in the dark, we're having our moments, and sometimes our real moments. And those real moments are moments that we're ashamed of. That's why we don't want to bring them to the light. But in order to release the shame, or to keep yourself from feeling like you have to be in the dark and no, I can't share certain things, to take you out of the shackles that you've shackled yourself with, because more times than not, no one has put you in that dungeon. You have placed yourself there because of all the stinking thinking that you've been thinking over the years. Time to be released. Time to be able to walk out in the light and live your life free, happy. There will be emotions on different occasions depending on what we're talking about, what the engagement is about. But the biggest thing here that I want to be able to do, not just for you, but for me, trust and believe. Anything that I show up on, anything that I do, I'm starting with me. Why? Because there are layers I need to pull back. There are things I've allowed myself to take on and to do and to become that has pretty much encaged me. I've encaged myself. I wasn't asked to do it. I did it because I felt a certain way and wanted to show up a certain way. I always wanted to be helpful, while forgetting that I'm burying myself alive, becoming a sacrifice that I was never asked to be. And that can be hard when you realize what you have done, what you've allowed, not that somebody else has done to you, what you have done to yourself. And you're going, excuse my language, oh, damn. How did I get here? How did I literally get here? How do I move forward? How do I rise from the ashes of where I find myself and move forward into the things that I know that I am destined to fulfill? Life is not over. Life, sweethearts, is not over until you take your last breath and it is done. You're still here. I'm still here. We still have the opportunity to rise. Share your story. I'm going to share mine, and I am looking forward to it. So again, let's chat. Let's communicate honestly about things. And it's not with malice, but with love in our hearts and our spirits. Even though you may be going through something that has hurt you, or that you're still hurting, or you're trying to figure out, how do I maneuver through this particular stage in my life? You can. Honestly, with positivity, yes, even while hurting. But to share is a way of releasing, it's a way of healing, and finding out, honestly, you're not alone. There are a lot of people hiding in the dark that are experiencing some of the same things that you may have experienced in your past, you may be experiencing right now. All you gotta do is come forth, share. And we talk about this devil. We are the devil in our lives, more times than not. We are the ones that are putting the things on our shoulders, hiding, whispering, saying things, doing things, thinking it's in the dark, undercover, all that kind of stuff. But all those things will eventually come to light, whether we want them to or not. So, from my testimony, the things I'm going to share, trust and believe, I know I should have been sharing a long time ago. I just didn't think the time was right. Now, because of where I'm headed, the path that's been laid out before me, where I'm going, the people that I've met, the people that I'm meeting, has been by no mistake. It's time. And I'm going to shoot my shot. I am going to show up. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to put myself out there and let you ask me questions. And I'm going to give you my truth. And I'm doing it because I want to encourage others to do the same. There are too many of you living in the dark, hiding, because you don't want people to talk about you. You don't want people to know what you've been through. You don't want people to really know who you are. And that's because, honestly, if we're honestly, you don't even know who you are. It's hard to face what you fail to allow to come to the forefront and deal with. Many of us deflect. We get ourselves involved with different things, different relationships, versus sitting on our behinds, parking it, and dealing with ourselves. It takes courage. It takes wisdom. It takes unselfish love for oneself and then for others. Loving you to life and beyond. I am Veronica. I'm so excited about chatting. So, put it in here. Put it in here. Let's chat. Communicate honestly about things. See ya.